Hey everyone, welcome to week 7 of the Wild Woman Yoga series. I'm Lexi, and our theme for class today is union. So last week we were working with duality, and today we're going to work on bringing those parts together and wholeness. So get into something comfortable. We're going to be moving a bit today, and I will meet you on your mat. So we're going to be starting in a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you, just any seated position that feels supportive, that you can be in for a little bit and just connect to your breath. Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees, palms facing upward. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. And begin to deepen the breath. Breathing into the lowest part of the belly. And following the breath from the nostrils all the way down to the navel. Allowing the belly to expand on an inhale and contract as you exhale. And bringing to mind our theme of union. It's natural and actually imperative for us to want to connect with others, to connect with others. We're wired for connection. But it is very difficult to authentically be in union with a partner or a friend or anyone really without first being in union with ourselves. Otherwise, we are always searching for someone to complete us. Which is an impossible task, even for the most present and supportive partner. True union is possible only when there is an awareness that wholeness exists in both parts. As paradoxical as that might sound. I think it was Carl Jung that says, paradox is the closest we come to truth. So as your palms are flipped towards the sky, imagine in your right hand you have a ball of light, white light, emanating from your palm, sitting in your palm. And in your left hand, you're holding a sphere of darkness. And place all of your energy into visualizing those two spheres in either one of your hands. Darkness in the left and light in the right. Neither is good or bad, it just is. And visualize now these orbs of energy beginning to color your whole body. So in your right hand, this lightness filling the whole right side of your body. And in your left hand, this darkness filling the whole left side of your body. In practice today, we will work with crossing these parts of the body and using the body to teach our mind about union and paradox. How we can be both light and dark, wild and tame, to work to increase our container to hold all of the multitudes of self. Bring your palms together and gently open the eyes. You can blink them open a few times to adjust to the light of your room. And on an inhale, reach the arms up. Your gaze can follow the thumbs upward. And exhale, open the arms wide, tuck the chin to the chest, and bring the hands to the earth. Bringing the palms together again, repeating that movement. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, open the arms wide, bring the fingertips to the earth and chin to chest. Palms together, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms wide, fingertips to the earth, chin to chest. And let's do about 3 more at your own pace. Reaching up on an inhale and lowering on an exhale. 2 more. Bring the palms together again, reaching up on an inhale, and exhale, open twist to the right. So your right hand touches the floor behind you, and your left hand goes to the right knee. Not leaning into that right hand, just using your fingertips for stability. And as you inhale, lengthening from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, and exhale, twist just a bit more. Finding your drishti or point of focus for your gaze towards the right side of the room, maybe over the right shoulder. And inhale, arms up to center, high to the sky. Exhale, open twist to the left. And same thing, right hand on the left knee, left hand on the floor behind you. Inhaling to lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head, and exhale, twist just a bit more. Being gentle in these first movements of the body. And let's take one more on each side. So inhale to center, arms high. And exhale, twist to the right. Relaxing the hips, lower body. Inhale to center. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. And exhale, pull the hands through heart center. From here, keeping the palms and fingertips together, almost at level with your heart here. You're going to press into the left hand with the right hand so that you move your palms to about the left side of the chest. You might feel some sensation in the wrist, in the fingertips. If it's too much, just back off a little, come closer to the center of your chest. If you're looking for a little more sensation, you can press onto the fingertips with the right fingertips, pushing back on the left fingertips. Just kind of waking up the nerves in the wrist, fingers, and crossing that midpoint of the body. Inhale to center, and exhale, pushing the left hand into the right and moving your palms over to the right side of the chest. Again, backing off and bringing your palms to midline if the sensation feels like too much, or if you're looking for a little more, pressing the left fingertips into the right fingertips a bit. And then moving a little side to side, so maybe bringing the palms again to the left chest, and then to the right, back to the left, and to the right, and center. Releasing the fingertips to the earth, switching the cross of your feet. So if your right foot was in front, bring it to the back, bring your left foot forward, or vice versa. Walking the fingertips out and folding the upper body over your legs. You may wish to stay up here on the fingertips, keeping a nice straight spine. It's a wonderful place to be, or you can come down onto the forearms. You can come all the way down onto your forehead, whatever is in your practice. I'm going to stay here on the forearms. And as much as possible, trying to keep the sit bones close to the ground, so not toppling all the way forward here. You might feel some sensation in the hips. If it's not too much, just breathe into it. I'll take a few more breaths here. And walking the hands back towards the body. And again, switching the cross of the feet. So bringing whatever ankle was farthest from the body, bringing it closer, and bringing your other ankle on the outside. And again, walking the fingertips out, away from the ankles, and staying either here on the fingertips, on the palms, on the forearms, or down to your forehead, if that is in practice for you. Keeping those sit bones close to the earth. And maintaining some straightness from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And as you're holding here, you might find the longer you remain in this pose, you can fold in maybe a bit deeper, or maybe not, just be gentle. And follow the sensations that are arising. Your body will tell you when is too much and when is not enough. Continue to breathe into your belly. And as you're ready, walking the hands back towards the body and stretching the right leg out at about like a 45-degree angle here, keeping the left heel in towards your groin, and then bringing the back of the right hand to either the thigh or the calf of the right leg, the inside of the right leg. You can place your right palm on your hip, if that feels good for you, or just on the floor next to your hip here. And on an inhale, lengthen from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And on an exhale, slide that right hand down the right leg. If your left palm is on your hip, think of drawing that left shoulder back towards the back of the room and pressing into the back of the right hand to twist the upper body out, shining the heart forward. As you sink gently towards the right leg. And wherever you are is fine. Again, listening to the body. You may wish to look forward, look up over the left shoulder, play around and find what feels good for your neck. You can also bring the left arm up and over the left ear, but my shoulder's not feeling that today, so I'm going to keep my left palm on my left hip. Inhale up to center and switch the cross of your legs, bringing the right heel towards your groin and the left leg out at about a 45-degree angle. Bring the back of the left hand to the inside of the left leg, either up towards the knee or the shin, wherever it lands. And then the right hand either on the mat near your hip, your right hip, or on your right hip. Nice place to be. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, slide that left hand towards the left foot, using the back of the left hand to push against the left leg and shine your heart forward or up towards the sky. And again, invitation here to bring that right arm up and over the right ear, or just keep contact with your right hip. And the gaze can go wherever feels good for your neck, either looking forward or over the right shoulder. Flexing in the left foot and maintaining that intention of twisting the chest open towards the sky. You can also bring the gaze towards the left leg. Inhaling to center, bringing that left hand closer to the body, sliding it up the left leg. And then bringing both soles of the feet together, just briefly to a butterfly pose, bouncing the knees up and down, kind of resetting the hips here. And then drawing the knees up and together, pointing towards the sky. Plant your hands to the right side of your body and come to a tabletop position. By now, I'm sure you're familiar with tabletop, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the knees under the hips. And once you've found your alignment, we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow just to wake up the spine. So inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, and exhaling, arching in the back, tuck the chin to chest. Inhaling, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, arching in the back, tuck the chin to the chest, tuck the pelvis. A couple more at your own pace, inhaling as you look forward and dropping the belly, and exhaling as you arch in the back. Exaggerating movements in the hips and shoulders as much as feels good for you, or maybe you just want to focus on dropping and the belly and arching the back. Do one more. Finding a neutral position for the spine. Maybe rocking the hips from side to side, finding some organic movement. And then as you're ready, extending the right leg back behind you, coming up on the right toes. And then grounding into the right hand here. Shifting your weight to the right hand and left knee. Lift the right foot off the ground so your leg is lifted about level with your right hip. And then if it serves you, you may wish to stay here, but if it serves you, or if you'd like to try, you can lift the left arm up and out in front of you. Drawing the navel in towards the spine, keeping the core active. And pressing into the fingertips to alleviate some of the pressure on the wrist. You can also come to a fist and come on your fist. You can do that in tabletop. You can do that anytime the palms are instructed to be on the mat. You could always use your fist if your wrists are not feeling it. And then as you're ready, lowering the left hand to the ground and bringing the right foot over across to the left side of the body. So you're on the tips of your right toes. And you can bring your gaze to look at the right toes. All these crossovers, it's going to be hard to get my right and left straight. So yes, you can gaze at the right toes, feeling a stretch in the right side body. Maybe pressing the heel back. And on an inhale, bringing the right knee back to meet the left. Again, finding some movement in the hips, if that feels good. And if your wrists are saying they are not happy, coming up on your fists. Extending the left leg out, back behind you, on your left toes. Grounding into the left hand and right knee. Lift the left foot off the ground so your left leg is lifted about the level or height of your hip. And once you feel stable, you can lift the right arm in front of you, palm facing the left side of your mat. Again, pressing the navel back towards the spine to engage your core. Really pressing down away from the earth with the left hand and into the top of the left foot, into the mat. You can flex in the left foot if that helps. And bring the right hand to the earth and bring the left foot across the body and over to the right side, coming on the right, the left toes. See what I mean? It's testing my mental ability today. On the left toes here, you can bring your gaze to follow the left foot, pressing into the left heel, opening up in the left side body. And as you're ready, lifting the left foot and bringing the left knee to meet the right. Let's just take a moment in child's pose so you can sit the hips back towards the heels, extend or walk the hands out a bit more in front of you and lower the forehead to the ground. Just taking a deep breath here. And as you're ready, coming back into a tabletop position. And we're going to come into our first downward dog of the series. I don't really do a lot of them, but today we will. So grounding your hands into the mat, tucking the toes. You're going to push away from the mat, pressing into the fingertips as much as the pads of the hand, and lift the knees as you do that. So pushing the ground away, lift the knees and lift the hips towards the sky. You can drop the head, just relax the neck, and bend in the knees as much as possible. Bend really generously in the knees so that the torso comes towards the tops of the thighs. And only then you can try straightening in the legs, but if your torso begins to lift off the thighs, bend in the knees again. It's more important to the integrity of the pose that you have length from the wrists all the way up the spine to the tailbone. That's more important than having straight legs here. So keep a bend in the knees, no big deal. Your heels can be lifted from the mat, not a big deal either. Keep pushing the mat away. And come down onto the knees back into a tabletop. So that's downward dog. Just one more note about that. The eyes of your elbow, which is the opposite side of your elbow, so right here, try to get the eyes of your elbow to face towards each other. If you find that they are facing all the way towards the top of the mat, put a little micro bend in the elbows so that they come towards one another again. If you rotate them all the way so they're facing the top of the mat, might cause some issues for your shoulder. So I always like to just point that out. So let's come back into downward dog. So tucking the toes, pushing the mat away as you lift the hips and lift the knees off the mat, bending generously in the knees here. And lowering one heel and then maybe the other. Kind of pedaling out the feet. And as you're ready, stepping the right foot forward in between the hands. Sometimes it helps to come onto the fingertips as you're bringing that foot in between the hands. At any time, you can probably substitute tabletop for downward dog, so feel free to do that. Once you feel steady, coming up into a high lunge, bending into that right knee, drawing the right hip back as you soften the left hip forward. And the hands can come in prayer pose just for a second. And then inhale the arms up. Exhale, open twist to the right. So your right hand comes towards the back of the mat, left hand towards the front. And let's take a few breaths here. Once again, finding a twist in the spine. Gaze towards the right side of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the right foot. Bring that right hand to the inside of the right foot. And walk your hands towards the center of the mat, your toes towards the left side of the mat. So we're in a wide-legged forward fold here. Walk your feet just a couple inches towards each other so your stance is not as wide as it was before. And then turn the left toes out towards the left corner of the mat. As you're ready, walking the hands towards the left foot and bending into the left knee in a side lunge. You can lift the left heel here. And you can keep your right foot grounded, flat against the earth, or you can lift the right foot and come on the right heel. Fingertips can stay towards the earth. Requires a little bit of balance, so if you're not feeling that, just keep the hands on the earth. They could be flat, down, up on the fingertips. Or you can bring the hands in prayer. Or you can try a little of everything. You might have a little better luck than me today. Just be playful. Yoga doesn't always have to be so serious. And as you're ready, bringing the hands to the earth, walking the hands to the back of the mat, and facing all of your toes towards the back of the mat. Kind of pivoting, so you're in a runner's lunge here. And let's just take a moment, dropping the right knee down to the earth and dropping the top of the foot, top of the right foot. And extending, straightening the left leg in a half split. And then bending once again into that left leg. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. And then as you're ready, coming all the way up to high lunge on the left side. You can bring the palms together as you find your stability, bending into that right leg, drawing the left hip back, softening the right hip forward, and then sweeping the arms out and up, palms touch overhead, and exhale, open twist to the left. Keeping that attitude of playfulness. If you fall out of it, no worries. Just take a breath and find your way back. Or rest in child's pose and settle the mind and body before returning. Let's do a few more breaths here. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, palms to frame the left foot. From here, bringing the left hand to the inside of the left foot and walking the palms to center as you turn the toes towards the long side of the mat. Again, shortening your stance, so walking the feet a couple inches towards each other. You may not need to do this. It just occurred to me if you're tall, but play around with it. And then turning the right toes out towards the corner of the mat, bending into the right knee and walking the hands towards the right foot. You can stay here with your left sole flat on the earth, or you can lift the left toes coming up onto the left heel and lift the right heel as well. Kind of balancing on your right toes and left heel here. And again, invitation to keep the palms flat on the earth. Come up on the fingertips. or once you find your center, trying to come all the way up, palms together. It helps to find a single point of focus when you're trying to balance. So maybe a few feet in front of you, pick something to look at, a point on the floor. And don't forget to breathe. As you're ready, hands to the earth, can bring the left foot back to the mat and pivot your whole body towards the front of the mat, bringing those hands to frame the right foot. And then dropping the left knee, top of the left foot, and straightening the right leg briefly in a half split position on the right side, just to give some relief to the muscles of the right leg. Then bending into the right leg, grounding the hands on either side of the right foot, tucking the right toes, lifting the right knee, and then sending the right foot back to meet the left, and pressing the floor away, bending in the knees as much as you need, back into downward dog. You may need to adjust your stance or alignment here to find your stability and ease. Remembering to continue pressing into the fingertips as well as the palm. As you're ready, bringing the right foot in between the hands once again, and then lifting the hands, coming up to a lunge position. This time, you can come into that same open twist if you want, inhaling the arms up and open twist to the right, or you can bring the palms in prayer position, lower the upper body towards the right thigh, and twist, hooking your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Grounding into that right foot, keeping the left leg active. A few breaths here. And again, kind of using that left elbow to push against the right knee and shine the heart towards the right side of the mat. As you're ready, untwisting, bringing the hands down to frame the right foot, bringing the right hand on the inside of the right foot, and then pivoting, facing all toes towards the long side of the mat, once again in this wide-legged forward fold. From here, bring the left palm down to the mat and lift the right arm up towards the sky, twisting towards the right side. Your gaze can follow the right hand or the left hand, or can look straight towards the right side. Again, finding what feels good for your neck. Lowering the right hand to the earth and lifting the left hand towards the sky, twisting to the left. Finding your gaze, point of focus, either down to the left or up towards the sky. And then lowering the left hand to the earth to meet the right. And walking the hands towards the back of the mat, turning all of your toes towards the back of the mat, and coming up onto the right toes, lifting the right heel. From here, lifting the upper body and hands from the mat, coming into a high lunge on the left side. Again, you're welcome to repeat the open twist, so bringing the hands up on an inhale and exhale, open twist to the left. Or you can bring the palms together, bending into that left leg, and twisting the upper body so you can lower your torso and hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Using the contact between the right elbow and left knee to twist the upper body and shine the heart towards the left side of the mat. And if at any point the sensation becomes too much, you can always bring the hands down to frame the left foot and come into a runner's lunge. But if you're still in your twist, just breathe. And then everybody just come into a runner's lunge. Bring the palms down to frame the left foot. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot and walk the hands towards center, turning all your toes towards the long side of the mat. From here, let's briefly come into a wide-legged downward dog. Walking the hands forward, away from the body. Pressing into the earth, drop the head, relax the neck. And just shifting the weight towards the heels. And then walking the hands back towards the body. And bringing the hands and toes towards the top of the mat. Into a runner's lunge on the right side. As you're here, bring the palms to the earth and send the right foot back towards the left, back into downward dog. Maybe pedaling out the feet here, bending into the right leg and bringing the left heel to the earth, and then bending into the left leg and bringing the right heel to the earth. Maybe do that a couple of times. And then lowering the knees to the ground and coming into child's pose, so you can release the tops of the feet, send the hips back towards the heels, walk the hands out in front of you and lower the forehead to the earth. And just taking some deep breaths here. And walking the hands back towards the knees, lifting the head, and swinging the legs out to the left side to come onto your seat. From here, extending the legs out in front of you, bending in the knees generously while you flex the feet. Reach the arms up on an inhale, and exhale, fold forward. You can grab a hold of the calves or the feet, wherever you are. And you can straighten the legs if that serves you, but I'm going to stay here with my legs bent in kind of an easy forward fold. And then walking the hands back towards your hips. Bringing the right sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. And bringing the arms up. And an inhale, exhale, fold forward, folding your body over the left leg. Flexing that left foot back and grabbing wherever you are, on the calf, the foot, the toes. Lifting the torso. And bringing the right foot to the outside of the left thigh, crossing it over. And hugging the knee in, your right knee in with your left arm. Just hug it in close to you. And then lift the right arm to the sky, sweep it behind you, twisting to the right. Again, not leaning too heavily on the right hand, but more using the right fingertips for stability as you twist to the right. Maybe the gaze is just towards the right side of the mat. Maybe you gaze over the right shoulder. With each inhale, lengthening from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And with each exhale, twisting a little more. On your next exhale, unwinding and bringing both hands to the left side. And just doing a little bit of a counter twist. So you can kind of twist the spine to the left. And then coming back to center, extending the right leg out to meet the left. And then bringing the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Twisting the body just a bit towards the right, bringing the arms up on an inhale and exhale, fold torso over the right leg, flexing the right toes back towards the shin, and grabbing hold on the right leg wherever you are, whether it be on the calf, outside of the foot, toes. Inhaling and sending breath on an exhale to any part of the body that you're experiencing sensation. And inhaling up, walking the hands back, and bringing the left foot to the outside of the right thigh, or outside of the right knee, or outside of the right shin, wherever it lands comfortably. And then hugging the left knee in with the right arm, wrapping that right arm around your left knee, and extending the left arm up, and bringing left fingertips down to the earth behind you, twisting to the left. Again, bringing your gaze either straight out to the left side or over the left shoulder. With each inhale, lengthening in the spine, and with each exhale, twisting. On your next exhale, unwinding, taking a little counter twist to the right as you bring both your hands on the right side of the body, twisting to the right briefly, and then bringing yourself back to center, extending both legs out in front of you. Maybe bounce the legs up and down a few times. And then finding your way onto your back. Drawing the right knee into the chest, clasping onto the right knee with both your hands, and just hugging it into the body for a moment. Extend the right arm out to the right side, and then use the left hand to draw your right knee across the body, and bringing it to rest on the left side. You can gaze towards the right fingertips, settle into this twist in the low back. And then bringing the right leg back up to center and extending it long to meet the left. Drawing the left knee into the body, using your hands to hug the left knee into your chest. And then extending the left arm out to the left side, using the right hand to guide the left knee over and across the body to rest on the right side. You can bring your gaze to the left fingertips. Coming back up to center. Extending the left leg out to meet the right. And taking any remaining pose that you feel your body needs before we come into Shavasana. Perhaps you want to stretch out long or draw both knees in, drawn tight. And then as you're ready, bringing the arms to rest a few inches away from the body, palms facing upward. Bringing the feet about as wide as the mat, making space for the legs, arms, relaxing the belly. closing the eyes or softening the gaze. And then making any final adjustments that would help you to feel just 10% more comfortable before settling in. Without opening your eyes or making any movement at all, I invite you to bring back the visualizations from the beginning of practice. So in your right palm, imagining that orb or a ball of light, and in your left palm, imagining that ball of darkness. moving your awareness from one side to the next. First, all your awareness in the left hand, and then all your awareness in the right. Back to the left, and then back to the right. And as you're ready, holding awareness of both. Noticing if and how, being aware of both at the same time changes the original feeling of the individual. As you're ready, letting go of the visualization altogether. Coming to one side of the body, into the fetal position. Resting here for a moment. Until you feel ready to push yourself up into a seated position. And bringing your hands together in prayer. I invite you to bring with you a piece of contemplation and to ask yourself, what are the opposing parts of myself? Can I hold space for my multitudes and the multitudes of others? I thank you for sharing practice with me today. Be well.